Hello there.
And welcome to Midland Earth, your home of pop culture news and chat. Today's episode, we're going to do a quick review of 2024, what we've enjoyed, what we've not enjoyed, and also what we're looking forward to for 2025. So Matt, what have you enjoyed over the last 12 months?
I'd have a think really, because a lot of the things that I enjoyed were like more at the start, start or in the middle of the year. So I can't even think when this came out, but I really enjoyed the second part of Dune, because I really enjoyed the first one, and it was like when I came out of it, I was kind of like, oh, is this how people felt when they watched Star Wars for the first time? Because I was like proper like mesmerized by it and like sucked into the world like instantly and things, and like everything worked together to really envelop you in the world of like Arrakis and stuff, and really like bombard you with like sensory like overload, so you kind of like, whoa, and you like don't know what to like, you can't process it until the end, and you kind of like, but yeah, I really did enjoy that film. I thought the performances were great, I thought the music was great, but yeah, obviously the music's going to be great because it's the master of awesome music, which is Hans Zimmer.
Master.
That's for another time, Lewis.
Steady on there.
I think he's the master currently scores, because like he's done like what 5 of the best scores in the last 10 years, probably. I would argue.
Currently, yes. Of all time, no. I figured Doom 2 would be on your list.
But yeah, it was very good. Movie-wise, that's probably one of the top ones of the year, I think.
Yeah. Any other films?
Well, my list is quite varied, to be fair, because then next up I've got The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and what's her name? Like the go-to British actress. I don't know what her name is now. Emily Blunt. Yeah. But yeah, that was a really good kind of action comedy.
It's one where he plays a stuntman, isn't it?
Yeah, it's based on like I think it's based on like an old TV show or something.
I didn't mean to watch that because it did actually look quite funny.
It is dead funny.
I've not been to the cinema as often this year as I would have liked, so I've missed out on quite a few films. So my list is more TV based this time around.
But yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. It's kind of like that old kind of action film you don't really get anymore, you know, from the 90s, which was kind of like it's that old trope of, oh yeah, like a really attractive, like charismatic actor plays like a goofy kind of not sure of himself guy, but like it works. And the comedy kind of plays off that he's like not sure of himself and things. He's kind of goofy, but it's dead funny. And the action in it's really mint as well. And he set like a world record for the amount of like flips of like a car or something in one of the action shots as well. It was like
that's pretty cool.
12 times or something insane, like this car flipped. But they actually set that record on set, which was quite cool. Yeah. But
any other highlights for you?
My other one is one that I really thought was quite a cute film that I watched with I think I went with one daughter, but yeah, called If, with the different Ryan in. Ryan Reynolds.
What about the Ryans this year?
It is, yeah, but it was another one's got a Ryan as well, and the same Ryan. But this was like a kids' film called If, which is about like if imaginary friends were like real and things, which was really cute.
I vaguely remember seeing it advertised.
And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. It was a really nice time at the cinema with my daughter, really. And, it's got a really nice, like, cute heart in it as well. And what's his flipping name? The guy who is it Jack Ryan or something? Who plays him in the TV show? He's also a director, and is in A Quiet Place. What's his name? It was Mr. Fantastic.
The one that's married to Emily Blunt?
Yes, that one.
Oh, I know what you mean now. He was in the American Office.
Yes, he's in it as well.
Yeah,
it's really,
I can't remember his name.
It's a really nice film that's got a good story, like a good message in it and things. And I really like that film. I know it's really funny.
John
Krasinski.
That's it.
Him, yeah, and it's got a really good voice cast. Emily Blunt's actually in it as well, so it's quite funny.
Again.
But yeah, what about yourself? I'll get back to me in a bit. Anything you've watched that you like?
Like I say, mine were pretty much TV based because I've not been to the cinema as much as I'd have liked to. So the things I've enjoyed this year, very much liked Rings of Power Season 2.
I've not watched that yet.
Is
it better than the first one? Or the same?
Yeah, it was better. Focuses a lot more on Sauron in the second series. And
is it the same actor, or was that the one that swapped?
No, same actor. So
the
the other actor was for another character that I don't actually believe was in the Tolkien novels. I think he's an original character, but he's used in the plot development as like an antagonist to draw Sauron out. But I enjoyed that more than the first series. It was a lot more, say, Sauron focused, how he's manipulating the elves to creating the rings of power, and a bit more action in this series than there was in the first. So I really enjoyed that.
Is that awesome, like, elf guy in it again? He was in the first series.
Yes, yeah, he
awesome.
is. Yeah,
that's quite cool.
Yeah. I also enjoyed the season finale of Bad Batch, Star Wars Bad Batch.
I never actually made it to the season finale. I thought that season dragged a little bit. Did you like it?
It did drag in bits, but overall,
did it tie up all right?
Yeah, it sort of tied everything up to the end, and then obviously it brought the Clone Wars era to the end, pretty much. Much to my disappointment, because I really enjoy Star Wars Clone Wars. Whether they do anything else with it in the future, whether a more animated series or maybe even a live action, I can only hope. But it sort of brings the whole Clone Wars era to a close rather well. I think, obviously, as we've mentioned previously in other episodes, I actually did enjoy Agatha all along. I think the Marvel series that have come out this year, that's the one I probably enjoyed the most.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Marvel series. What's come out apart from Agatha?
There was surely one earlier in the year, but that was the one that I think I've enjoyed the most in terms of Marvel TV series. And like we said, it was a good cast, good overall story arc, ties in well with WandaVision.
Forgive me now, what was it? There must have been something else. Surely.
Was there a What If TV series earlier in the year, or?
I feel like What If came out at the end of last year because it was like a Christmas thing. You got like one every day or something.
What else has come out this year? Marvel with Agatha.
Oh, X-Men '97. You've not watched that, have you?
I've not watched that yet. No, not yet, because I was rewatching.
That's on my list.
The original run.
That was brilliant. X-Men '97 was amazing.
Yeah.
It like proper got me more than I thought it would as well. I was like, why am I getting emotional about TV? Oh, cartoons. Oh my God.
The only film really I could think of is the only one I remember actually seeing at the cinema this year. I did enjoy. It was a love story, really, to the old Fox films.
Oh, okay.
But I did enjoy Deadpool and Wolverine.
See, I did when I first originally watched it, and it was late at night. I still enjoyed it, but then I rewatched it like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't enjoy it as much, and I can't figure out why. I don't know whether it's because I knew everything that was coming. Maybe that was part of the enjoyment the first time.
Don't get me wrong. The plot was a bit thin.
Yeah.
But in terms of it's paying homage to all those old X-Men films, obviously the original Fantastic Four films, Daredevil, Blade, all those Marvel films that came out before the MCU was a thing. It's paying homage to all of those, pretty much the superhero films, apart from Spider-Man, that we grew up with before Iron Man.
I suppose it's kind
of...
So
it's I see it is like a love story to them.
Yeah.
You get all those little mini cameos and things like that, and little nods to all those films. And pretty much saying, because obviously Fox is owned by Disney now, so that's the end.
The thing is, I don't know whether, because I know you say like, oh yeah, it's like, because at the end of it, there's that little
the montage, and the credits, like all the stuff.
It keeps being these rumours that like, oh yeah, this person's going to be used in like Secret Wars, and this person's going to be used in Secret Wars. So really, was Deadpool just like a testing ground to see who people are interested in still, do you reckon, for Secret Wars? Like, do people still want Wolverine? Are people bothered about like Channing Tatum's Gambit being around more? Because it seems Because Deadpool's definitely going to be in Secret Wars, I reckon. I think so. It's kind of like a goodbye, but then it's not, because like
I think
they can't recast any of the characters because they've still got this contract thing, out there, where they're not allowed to use them until like 2028 or something stupid, isn't it? I think so.
They might be using it as a way of testing the waters to see which of the Fox characters they can bring back for Secret Wars. Certainly, if they're going to have Wolverine in that before they introduce the MCU version of the X-Men, bring back Hugh Jackman. But going forward, most of those characters are going to be recast. So I sort of saw it as it was like I say, it was a bit of a love letter to the Fox films.
I've got a couple more though.
Oh, you've got a couple more. Do you want to fit them in before we move
I'll
on
say
to
a couple
comms?
more. There's only one. Arcane. Watch it. It's really good. It's this. I suppose it's kind of. I like things that engulf you in the whole of the world. You know, where like the music's working into it and the characters are working into it, and like it's even like beautiful to look at. Arcane. Like some of the shots, they use quite a lot of slow mo, but like the slow motion shots are like things you could have on your wall. You know what I mean? They're like look amazing, and it just. I think I'm a sucker for when the visuals are gorgeous and everything else is kind of bringing you into the world as well, and that's what Arcane does, like, in an amazing way. Like my daughter, even like she wasn't really supposed to be watching it at that age, but she did like pick up. She was like, "I like when the music kind of matches the like what you're watching," and she understood it. She's only little, and she like understood like just by watching a little short bit of it that's what that the visuals and the music were kind of working together to make you feel something, and that's what like Arcane does, like all the way through, in a really good way. And it kind of pulls your heart out of your chest and like smushes it in front of you, and then you can still carry on watching.
Nice. What about cons of this year? Any things that have let you down? Disappointments?
Star Wars has kind of gone in the same. I don't know. I suppose what was the last one before? So I'm going to say Acolyte was kind of.
Acolyte's on my list as well.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing about Acolyte, I think personally, was some of the fight choreography.
Yes.
So it kind of lent on kind of the martial artsy side of it, which I think Star Wars could do more sometimes. Obviously, I know it's called Star Wars, which implies like fighting and like kind of battles and things. But I like it when it's like one-on-one and it's more like crouching tigery, kind of like flying around and like throwing lightsabers and like using the Force in really like interesting and like creative ways. I like that.
For the whole, Acolyte for me was a disappointment. But the duels between the Jedi and the Stranger, they were really good. So I've not enjoyed the lightsaber duels in the Disney era as much as what I did in the prequel era. So Duel of the Fates, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, in the prequel trilogy, they were terrific. They had a choreographer who came in and it was almost like they were being taught a dance effectively, because it was so choreographed, and there was flips and spins and twirls and all the acrobatic stuff that you would expect to see from Jedi and Sith. And then you got to Rey and Kylo Ren, it was just hack and slash, and it was dreadful. But this brought it back, and I know I know obviously the Acolyte set before the Phantom Menace, so the Jedi at the height of their power. So that's for that sense, because they made those duels in that series more like they were in the prequel trilogy, it does make sense, because these are the Jedi and the Sith that are at the height of their power. They're highly trained and things like that. I know where Kylo Ren and Rey aren't so much, but they were still disappointing, those duels. So this felt more like what Star Wars should be in terms of the lightsaber duels, because they were more choreographed. You had, like you say, you had flips, spins.
They were quite brutal as well.
Quite brutal.
Like the one, which one was it? When he slaughtered like 4 people or something. I was like, whoa.
as much as I've got it in my sort of disappointment of the year, one of the disappointing series, the one pro from that was the fighting and the choreography of that was far better than the Disney era films. I did enjoy the Obi-Wan duels to an extent.
Yeah, like when he was against Vader and
yeah.
he was like dragging him
in the finale and stuff.
And did he drag him in on like
Vader,
fire or something? That was well brutal.
Yeah, so
and he was going through that village like just torturing people to like draw Obi-Wan out. So that was. I do think they've tried to get a bit darker in some of the TV shows. But they just need to improve the plot now. It
works in Obi-Wan. Anyway, any other cons?
There was an animated one that people have some people have kind of shouted about and said that it was really good. And Transformers 1. I didn't really know what to expect, and I kind of just watched it because it was kind of like a family thing, and it was okay, but I wasn't as blown away as people made out that it was going to be. To be fair,
yeah.
So it was a bit meh. Like I don't very often go to the cinema and think it was alright. Like I genuinely like most films.
Yeah, you tend to love everything that you go see at the cinema. So,
but that was a bit. The action was okay, I suppose, but the I don't know, the plot was just a bit boring. So that disappointed me. But what about you? Anything else other than that?
Doctor Who.
What, in general, or
the latest series. But don't get me wrong, I think that Ncuti Gatwa is very good as the Doctor. I think he's got a lot of potential moving forward.
Do you like the emotional openness of the character, or do you feel like that's a little bit much?
To an extent, I do, but I think they are taking it too far in certain episodes. Nothing specifically stands out, but I think he seems to cry in most episodes these days.
Kind of loses its weight if he does it all
the
time.
He does. Yeah, it loses his weight and things like that. I wasn't overly fond of Millie Gibson's character as the companion Ruby Sunday. Maybe the way that the series arc with her being used as linking her to the villain and things like that, it's been done better in the past. Rose's series arc was better, Donna's series arc was better, Martha even to an extent, maybe Pond, but Millie Gibson's wasn't great. And then one of the other disappointments of the year for me, even though I've not completed it yet, I'm just not fully enjoying it, was Star Wars Outlaws video game.
Is that the open world one?
Yeah. So Star Wars fans, when it comes to on the gaming side, we've been crying out for an open world Star Wars game for years, because things like Skyrim, Fallout, Hogwarts Legacy, these open world games, GTA, everyone loves an open world game. It's, you get to go out and explore and things like that. And everyone's thinking, if the Star Wars one does it, you get to go off and explore loads of planets and fly in space and all this stuff. And you do get to do that in the game. It is. It's just the plot's a bit slow, and considering that's come out this year, graphic wise, it looks worse than what Red Dead 2, GTA 5 look, and they came out 4 or 5 years ago. So it's almost like the graphics and the physics in the game have gone backwards, which made the playthrough not as enjoyable. So maybe they rushed it. They may have rushed it out.
Yeah, maybe.
But that was certainly a disappointment for me as well.
Oh God, next year, where do I start? It's like the busiest year for Blockbuster and like mainstream cinema. It's been for ages.
You've got a fair bit on your list, I've got a fair bit on mine, so we just bullet point them.
Oh, actually, there's no... What Star Wars stuff's coming out next year? 'Cause I haven't got anything Star Wars. Oh, Andor. Andor season 2.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
But yeah, that's got a weird kind of setup structure coming out as well, hasn't it? Isn't it like 12 episodes, but like each 4 jumps like 5 years or something?
They do a time gap between each episode, I understand, and they're obviously then leading
up to Rogue One. But be interesting to see who comes into that, I think, like character-wise. Because I think
Alan Tudyk's coming back to voice K2SO.
And what's his name's in it as well, isn't he? Who's the villain in Rogue One? The general guy.
Director Krennic.
Yes, he's back as well.
I can't remember the actor's name at the moment.
He's a good actor though.
He's good, really good.
But he's coming back, so I'm guessing... What's his flipping name? Skarsgård will be back, won't he? I'm guessing. He was good in it. I really liked him.
I'm looking forward to Andor. That should be good.
Yeah, hopefully.
Good.
The first one. Oh, I wonder if Andy Serkis will be back because they never actually said whether he was dead or not. Will he have escaped? Will he have learnt to swim?
Noticed both of us have got a fair few Marvel on our lists.
Yes,
what
there's
we're looking forward
loads.
to.
So, like, yeah, we're cutting back, but we're not cutting back.
So I've got Captain America.
I'm tentatively looking forward to it, but there's reshoots again. So whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not quite sure.
Thunderbolts.
But yeah, again, tentatively, because David Harbour said that he's seen a cut of it and it was really good. So I'll take Hopper's word on it.
Yeah.
And speaking of Hopper, the last season of Stranger Things is coming next year.
Yep.
Finally, it's been like 10 years and the kids all look like adults now, but still,
Look forward to that.
We'll see how they address that.
They're doing a time gap. Again, it's a jump in time. But I think it's only a year from the last series to this series. There's only like a year jump.
Interesting.
To age up the kids. But I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, the list of Marvel things just goes on and on. You've got Daredevil, you've got Fantastic Four, you've got Thunderbolts.
Looking forward mostly Daredevil is my pick out of all of those, really. It's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, because I just hope they do it properly. But apparently there's a time gap in that. Well, obviously there's a time gap.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years between Netflix and this. So,
which should, in theory, then include the blip.
Yeah?
The snap, whatever you want to call it.
I reckon they're
snap over the blip. But
I reckon they'll do like flash forwards and backwards, as you know, where people are gone and they're not. I reckon. Have they said whether Matt Murdock was gone or not? I don't think they've mentioned it.
I don't think it's been mentioned, no.
But I reckon like he'll be there, but like his mates and stuff will be gone. You know, like Foggy and Karen. I reckon they'll be gone, and he'll just be on his own. And then they'll come back and see how much he's changed. Yeah. I reckon that'll be quite a good way to do it, maybe, because he said they like survive on his own with no like emotional ties. I suppose maybe that's changed him a little bit. That's the way I would do it personally. But
I'm also looking forward to. I don't know if you saw the first series, but I'm looking forward to the Last of Us season 2.
Oh yeah.
Because
that next year, is it?
That's next year. It's not been given a date yet, but it is scheduled for next year, and I found that to be like a really good game adaptation.
When was the first season? Was that not this year?
A couple of years ago.
Was it?
Now I think, yeah.
God, that's gone quick. Yeah, the first season was really good.
But it's a really good game adaptation. Personally, for me, when it comes to, if you're adapting a game, I would rather you adapt it into a TV series rather than a film, especially ones like The Last of Us, where the game itself is very narrative driven.
Yeah,
it's all about the story. It's all about the character development. So you're able to do that more over the course of a series, as opposed to a 2.5, 3 hour film.
I mean, I think a lot of games are kind of being made that way now, aren't they? You know, where it's the story that drives it.
So I am looking forward to that. And there are a couple of games actually that I am looking forward to next year as well.
Yeah.
So as long as the rumours on the internet are true, we should finally be getting Grand Theft Auto 6 next year.
God, how long has it been since the 5 came out?
10 years, something like that. So
why is it taking so long?
And then
gadgets.
Other game I'm looking forward to is they're releasing the new Pokemon game this year as well.
What console's that on?
Switch.
What was it?
Nintendo Switch. So the Pokemon
actually
Legend ZA. I'm looking forward to that because the Legend Arceus one's quite good.
So is it? Because I haven't played a modern Pokemon game really. So is it old fashioned in the way that you just go around villages, or is it updated it the format now?
They've updated it so slightly. So this one is, from what I understand, is going to be based on one of the cities in one of the previous games. So it's going to be exclusively in this one particular area, maybe a bit of surrounding bits around it as well. But the story is going to be focused purely on this city that is, I believe, it's based on Paris. But I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good game as well. Anything else from you? Any further things you're looking forward to?
Obviously, Marvel-wise, we've got Fantastic Four next year, which is I think they've got a lot riding on that.
Third reboot. Third time lucky.
God, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's depressing, isn't it? You'd think one of the most famous families in Marvel would be easy to get right, but apparently not. So, but I really enjoy the cast choices that they've made. They're all really good actors.
Yeah, they do look good.
Man
of the moment, Pedro Pascal.
I'm still convinced that they're going to make the Storm British, you know, because both actors are British. So maybe they'll do like a thing where kind of all of them are kind of from different places, but they all come together as a family. You know what I mean? Where like Sue and Johnny are British.
Yeah, they play by British actors.
Obviously, Reed is like
Latin American.
Yeah, and maybe Ben is just from like New York or wherever it is. From they all kind of bond over something and then become like a family, maybe. But I think obviously we might get that backstory, but they're already established in the film. But then that might be something that's more interesting than the original kind of versions. But moving away from Marvel, we've also got James Gunn's Superman as well, which I don't know. If you think about Guardians and the kind of humour and stuff that's in that,
I always found DC to be a little bit more serious than Marvel. So
I know. So
James Gunn
bringing his humour to
I don't know.
Superman, I don't know.
We'll have to see if it'll work. Again, another Superman reboot. What's this now? This will be the 4th iteration.
I mean, if you include TV,
5.
If you include TV,
if you include TV, and then everything from
Smallville,
50s and things like that, it's like got to be in double figures now. But yeah.
Yeah, hopefully James Gunn. I mean, this is like his, I don't know what you call it, like test really. If he gets Superman right, then maybe people will have more faith in him.
Maybe. And
the universe going forward. But if it goes wrong, then I don't know how that bodes for the rest of it. And if people are going to be interested. But yeah. And staying with the superhero theme, there's also The Boys as well. Which...
Series 5.
I don't even know.
Final season, isn't it?
I don't even know if Gen V's got a season coming out next year, was it? Did you ever watch that?
I did, yeah.
I enjoyed that. I thought it was really good. Was that you should talk about this year?
It may have been at the start of the year. We had Boys season 4 this year.
Yeah,
unless Gen V was last year. But no, I'm looking forward to that, seeing how they wrap it all up.
But yeah, last season was mental.
Whatnot.
Quite a lot happened, didn't it?
Yeah. One thing that was missing from last season, though, there was no Billy Joel songs that I remember. Every series has had a Billy Joel song, but I don't think last series did. And there was just something that felt a bit off to me, and I think it was that. There was no Billy Joel.
That's not something I picked up personally. No. Maybe.
Okay. And then us as a channel, moving forward. Plans for next year?
I think we're going to try and mix things up a bit, aren't we? Guest wise and
try and get some people on.
Format wise, so we're going to be. This is where we need you guys to comment on things and say what you want and what you don't want.
Yep.
But I think we're going to play with kind of mixing up, so it's not just me and Lewis. Cause sick of seeing us a little bit now. But we need to get Sean. We need like a huge butterfly net and just go out there and get him and just drag him here. So we actually where the tree is actually in a minute.
But we are looking at bringing in a few other people as well.
Yeah, also to get some different opinions and talk about different things and...
Maybe get some debates going.
Yes, debates and potentially subject-related like quizzes and things, just to make things a bit more fun.
Games. If we can, time and money-wise as well, I'd like for us to try and maybe get out to something. So if we could do like a day at a convention or something as well, because that would be good. Very much in the pop culture side of things, if we can get out to do a convention in Manchester or Birmingham or something.
Yeah, I mean there's loads around here,
a day video going around type thing. And on that note, should we close out 2024?
Bye bye 2024. Hello 2025.
Have a happy new year, everyone.